Hello and welcome to my channel, and today I want to be talking about resentment. Um, I believe that you must be very, very careful with having resentment towards another person, because it can be a very dangerous thing when you have resentment towards others. If you have resentment towards others, it can lead to sin, and resentment can also lead you not to forgive a person. And if you don't forgive a person, then God won't forgive you as well. Holding resentment and not forgiving a person is bad. So if you're holding on to any type of resentment towards anyone, you have to try to let it go and forgive them. You know, there have been many times where people cried or felt hurt or even felt betrayed by what others have done to them. And some people ask themselves, why should I forgive them? Why should I forgive them after what they have done to me? Again, people ask themselves, why should I forgive them? Why should I forgive them after what they have done to me? But you have to find it. You have to find it in your heart to do so. You have to. And I know it's not easy. I know I've been there. But you have to forget them. You have to forgive them, because that can lead to sin. It says, if you don't forgive others, then God won't forgive you as well. You must forgive one another, because no one's perfect. At the end of the day, no one's perfect, and we all make mistakes. We all make mistakes. And again, you must forgive one another because no one's perfect and we all make mistakes. Have you ever thought once that maybe you hurt someone's feelings as well without you even knowing it? So let's take a step back and think. Have you ever done something to someone to hurt their feelings? Or have you ever gone into an argument with someone and said something you weren't supposed to say while you were arguing with them? Did you insult them? Did you use bad language while you were mad at them? Did you insult them as a person? Did you ever say evil things to belittle them at the time to make them mad or get back at them while you were arguing with them? And then later on, let's say, the person forgave you. You said your sorries to one another and then became friends again. If so, and if you caught yourself in this situation, then you must forgive others for what they have done to you. Because if this person forgave you, then you must forgive what others have done to you. Because if you do not forgive what others have done to you, then God won't forgive you for what you've done to others. In the King James Version, Ephesians 4:32, be ye kind one to another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, even as God, for Christ's sake, hath forgiven you. So basically, what it's trying to say is, try to be kind to one another, be nice to one another, and forgive others just like God forgave you. You should always, you have to think about, okay, what have I done to a person to hurt their feelings? What have I done to a person? God forgave me for what I have done to other people. So why can't I, forgive others? Why can't I say, hey, I forgive you? Because I'm pretty sure no one's perfect. I'm pretty sure that, sometimes people will be full of resentment. They say, oh, I'm not going to forgive this person. I'm not going to do it. But you have to think about, okay, if you ever got into an argument, like I said before, and a person forgave you, then you must forgive them. Again, just like God forgave you. But I believe that, and even though I know that it's hard, it's not easy to forgive someone, I know. But I think that it is much more easier to forgive a person and move on. But if you don't forgive a person, it will make it worse. it will make it worse. Now I'm going to read what I said. It is much more easier to forgive a person and move on, but if you don't forgive a person, it will make it worse, because then you'll end up with resentment, and this can be a dangerous thing. I feel as though that when you hold on to resentment, and the more you dwell on it, it gets worse. And I'm going to repeat this again. I feel as though when you hold on to resentment, and the more you dwell on it, the worse it gets. And that's not good, because you then begin to start having negative thoughts about that person, which is bad. And then later you begin to think about all the things that the person has done to you in the past or present. And when that happens, that's when resentment takes root. And then animosity comes. And then eventually all of your animosity towards them turns into bitterness, rage, and anger. Those three things. In the King James Bible, in the King James Version, Ephesians 4:31, let all bitterness, wrath, and anger, and clamor and evil speaking put away from you. Again, once resentment takes root, then animosity comes, and then eventually all of your animosity toward them turns into bitterness, rage, and anger. And you must be very careful. I believe you have to be careful. You must be careful once you start having bitterness and rage, because this can slowly start to turn into anger. And I'll repeat that again. You must be careful once you start having bitterness and rage, because this can slowly start to turn into anger. And once you get angry, you lose control. And when this happens, you start to think about hurting the person no matter the cost. And this slowly will open the door to sin. Because if you think about it, and I just said this, and I'll repeat it again, once you get angry, you lose control. When this happens, you start to think about hurting the person no matter the cost. And you know what that means, no matter the cost. Doesn't matter if they're lying on the floor, doesn't matter if you hurt them, or, just when a person thinks like this, and they say, I will hurt this person no matter the cost, that's because they have no control of their anger. And like I said, the anger that they're not able to control, this slowly will open the door to sin. Now, in the King James Version, Ephesians 4:26, be ye angry and sin not. So don't be angry, because angry will lead to sin. Be ye angry and sin not. Now, when you get angry, this is when things really start to take a turn for the worse. Now, when you get angry, wrath starts to slowly come. Wrath is when you get really angry with a person, and at the same time, you have like a strong desire to punish them and take revenge on them. For example, you say, oh, I'm so angry, I have so much hate towards this person that I'm going to do anything in my power that I can do to either hurt or harm this person, just to punish them and get revenge on them. And in KJV Bible, Ephesians 4:26, be ye angry. Be ye angry and sin not. Let not the sun go down upon your wrath. And if you go down this route to path, it will destroy you. And wrath is bad. The reason why wrath is bad is because God knows that you don't have good intentions toward this person. And he knows that you are full of hatred toward this person. And he also knows that you will stop at nothing to give revenge on this person, even if it means that you're willing to hurt or harm them. And once you start to feel this wrath toward this person, that's when things start to slowly get a bit dangerous. This is when you start to take the initial action to harm them. And this is where the sin starts. You'll say, oh, what can I do to hurt this person the way they hurt me? Maybe I should curse at them. Maybe I should curse at them or speak to them in an evil way to make them feel bad about themselves and mess with their self-esteem. Or maybe I should spread rumors and spread evil things about them to other people to make them look bad. But the King James Version, KJV, in the KJV Bible, Ephesians 4:31, it says, let all bitterness, wrath, anger, and clamor, and evil speaking put away from you. So again, you're not supposed to do this. You're not supposed to speak to people in an evil way to make them feel bad about themselves, mess with their self-esteem, or spread rumors, or speak evil things about them to other people to make them look bad. This is not good. Now, what happens now is when you have wrath, then malice takes over. After wrath, then comes malice. And what malice is, for example, let's say you want to break the person's car, or maybe intentionally ruin their reputation, start a fight intentionally, or just hire someone to harm them or injure them in any way you can. And this is malice. Malice is an intention or desire to do evil or ill will toward another person. So now you're committing the actual sin. You're hiring someone. I'll repeat this again. You're hiring someone to harm or hurt that person or possibly take their life. This is a sin. This is a sin. Thou shalt not kill. That is a sin. And those are one of the sins in the Bible. So you're already committing a crime. You're already committing a sin. Not only do you want to harm or hurt this person, you possibly want to take their life too. And it specifically says in the King James Version Bible, Ephesians 4:31, let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor and evil speaking put away from you with all malice. God does not want you to do such things. So you know that having malice, and I'll repeat that again. So you know now having malice towards others or having anger, bitterness, wrath, and evil speaking is not good. It's not good. And it is all due to resentment. All these feelings that you're having, malice, anger, bitterness, wrath, and evil speaking, that's all due to resentment. All of it is all due to resentment. When you have to be very, very careful. You have to be very careful with having resentment towards a person. It can be a very, very, very dangerous thing. It can lead you to harm or hurt others. It can even get to a point where you can possibly take another life due to your bitterness, your wrath, and anger. And then this becomes a sin. Because you're taking another life. Not only are you hurting or harming someone, but you're actually trying to take another person's life. That's a sin. And this is why I said from the beginning that you must be very, very, very careful. Very careful with resentment. And a lot of people ask, okay, why? Why is resentment such a bad thing? Why is resentment such a bad thing? Just because you're getting mad at a person is not a big deal. It is a big deal. Because of everything that I talked about today and the examples that I gave today, that can grow to sin. It really can. And So, you know, you have to be, like I said, very careful with the resentment. You know, so again, be careful with resentment because it's a dangerous thing. And if you feel as though you do have resentment towards another person, pray to God and call upon him. Again, if you feel as though that you do have resentment towards another person, just pray to God and call upon him. And ask him to forgive you. In the King James Bible, Psalms 86:5. For you, Lord, are good and ready to forgive, and abundant in mercy to all those who call upon you. I'll repeat it again. Psalms 86:5. For you, Lord, are good and ready to forgive. For you, Lord, are ready to forgive, and abundant in mercy to all those who call upon you. I'll repeat this for the third time. KJV Bible, Psalms 86:5. For you, Lord, are good and ready to forgive, and abundant in mercy to all those who call upon you. This verse is saying that God is a good God and he will forgive you. God is a God of compassion and forgiveness. If you pray and ask for forgiveness, he will forgive you. Again, if you pray and ask for forgiveness, he will forgive you. So I'm going to say a little prayer. So I hope and pray in the name of Jesus Christ that whoever has resentment towards another person, that they will forgive them. I hope that God heals their heart, and I pray that God leads them in the right path. Again, so I hope and pray in the name of Jesus Christ that whoever has resentment towards another person, that they will forgive them. And I hope that God heals their heart. And I pray that God leads them on the right path. And again, thank you so much for listening to my channel, and have a very blessed day. Bye.